Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigmar here and welcome back to another video. As I said, with the new update, there will be things introduced into the game that we will not have access right away and will be released later. But putting them in the game files, it means that the data miners will have access to them and access to take a look at them. And they're able to dig out that indeed we're going to have a King Robin Soul Raid. And this is going to be the loading image of the Soul Raid. You can also see it as the loading image of the game, so you could already draw conclusions from that. And yeah, yet another legendary character. Since Manta, we had absolutely no legendary characters that did not get their Soul Raid, except for Golden Armor Wonder Woman, I guess. But she was like the, let's say after Golden Armor Wonder Woman. That's a bit better said. We didn't have any legendary characters that did not have a Soul Raid. It was kind of expectable. Here we're going to have some of the images as they upgrade as you finish heroics. And we also have the artifacts. We're also going to take a look at the artifacts while we are here. So the way this is worded, it's going to be at level 1 versus at max level effectiveness. It's explained here. So the thing over here, it's going to be the max value, and the thing over here is going to be at level 1. So we can kind of see how far they're going to upgrade. The first one is absolute dumpster fire garbage. It's going to increase your gear set bonus effects, and it's going to negate gear disabling. You're going to get immunity to gear disabling. There's some characters that are going to have modifiers like disables gears for might characters, and you wear this and it doesn't work, which is useless and garbage. This is a filler artifact, and the gear bonus effects, the set gear bonus effects, is also going to be garbage because there's like 3 small things when you have all the gears, which are going to be something like, oh, this character gets some defense, some crit chance, some. This is literally filler artifact so that they have an excuse to take your money and not give you anything in exchange. Then we're going to have Mortal Coil. Inflicts burn for 18 seconds at max level or 12 seconds after spending 7 at max level or 12 power bars. So you're going to get a burning effect depending on the amount of power bars that you're going to spend. And there's also going to be a chance for basic attack hits and swipes to become lethal against burning opponents, which is going to be 35% at max level and 15% at lower level. Bro, what's up with this garbage? So you're going to get a burning effect that's far worse than Sword of Sin, because you're not going to be able to apply it that easily, and it's not even going to power drain, and it's going to require you to spend a lot of power bars to apply it. And then you're going to get a small lethal attack chest for basic attack hits and swipes. Bro, you should be paying me money to use that artifact. I shouldn't be paying money for that art. You should be paying me money to play that artifact and actively use it, because it is dumpster fire garbage. Next up, Sound of Robin King. Apply stun for 3 seconds or 1 second at level 1, 3 seconds at max level after successfully blocking a special attack. And it's going to also give you increased duration for stuns, which goes all the way up to 50%, and it's going to be lower to 25% at level 1. Not going to be the best thing or the most amazing thing in the world, but we might see some interesting synergy with this and Harley's passive or Harley herself. We're not going to put this on Harley herself because she needs something for damage, obviously, but you might be able to use this on a Batman character that sets up the stun for her or something like that. Though I kind of doubt we'll see that, but it's a possibility. Increased stun duration, at least it's something we haven't seen so far. Most likely not going to be a great artifact, but at least they're trying a bit with this one. Now, Toxic Bomb. Spawns a toxic hazard with 150% at max level or 90% of the wearer's attack stat for 9 seconds. 6 seconds after every 9 seconds at max level or 6 seconds after every 4 or 2 at max level successful specials. So at max level, you're gonna get after 2 specials and 9-second duration hazard, which is gonna deal slightly more than your attack. Also, you're going to reduce the opponent's defense by 15% or 5% in the toxic hazard. But what's with these values? Look, if you're gonna give me a useless garbage artifact, at least give it some good defense reduction. So if I drop it randomly, I'm gonna be able to somewhat use it. But what am I gonna do with 15% defense reduction, my dudes? Put it in my ass? I think it's gonna fit because it's so damn small. Bro. But in the hazard, I'm not really a fan of hazards. Because what this will most likely do is spawn the hazard, and you're going to constantly have to jump. The enemy will constantly jump out of it, and you're going to make the enemy spawn jump attacks. So far, huge disappointment. Look, I don't know. I don't want to know what those are, and yeah, I don't know what those are, and I don't want to know. Anti-leaving seeds. Each successful special inflicts silence for 20 seconds or 10 or 11 seconds at level 1. Opponent can't inflict buffs on themselves or buffs. Opponent can't inflict buffs on themselves or buffs on the opponent. Isn't the opponent the opponent? Are you saying that they can't inflict buffs on themselves twice or on their teammates or something like that? But yeah, the silence is a new negative effect that we haven't seen so far. It's kind of garbage and situational to an extent because we don't have many bosses that are going to buff themselves, but we do have some. For example, this might be extremely useful against boss Black Adam because you're going to be able to prevent him from constantly getting more and more attack each time you're going to tag in and out. And then we're going to get plus 30% at max level or 10% at level 1 damage for specials for each silence debuff inflicted by the wearer. Stacks up to 6 times. So if it stacks up to 6 times, it means it's going to go all the way up to 180% if you have it at level 10. And I don't know if it's for each silence debuff that you inflict, like in total, throughout the duration of the fight, or each silence debuff that is like currently active, because if it's a negative effect, which they are calling again debuff, you're going to be able to apply more of them, even though the effect itself will not stack. And then when health drops below 25% or 15% for level 1, your dissolves all negative effects on themselves, tags out and heals 25% or 15% at level 1 of the max health over 2 seconds, and this can happen 2 times per battle. So yeah, the healing part is okay, but not something that's like amazing. The silence thing is kind of weird, but might be situationally useful. And the damage side of things is gonna be something. Though it's only gonna be damage on specials. So it's gonna be both worse than Crown if it was raw damage, but it's not even raw damage, it's just damage for specials. Kinda sucks. Might be situationally useful against Black Adam or stuff like that. Arliss Mallet. Creates an undead clone instead of the wearer with 25% of the wearer's health and 70% or 40% at level 1 of the wearer's attack that reflects 75 or 25% of the damage from specials. Oh, I think this is also on the anti-leaving seeds. Because then we get a new section here for the Arliss Mallet. So basically, when I think it's when you're getting tagged out, is literally the Nora Snowglobe passive copy pasted. You're going to get yourself a clone, which is going to reflect some damage. If it's a clone, it's most likely going to be able to take advantage of percentage hull damage from specials, which is great. But at the same time, it's useless because we have Nora Snowglobe, and Nora Snowglobe is free. You can get as many Nora Snowglobes as you want. Nora Snowglobes can do basically the same thing as this can do for cheaper because it's a pay-to-win artifact. We'll get to the free one. So yeah, situationally useful. Other than that, copy-paste of Nora Snowglobe. I don't know, man. Arliss Mallet, 50% chance to apply stun for 6 or 3 seconds at level 1 on opponent's tag-in, and 80% damage against stunned opponents, or 160% damage at max level. I don't like this. So first of all, a chance to stun when the opponent tags in is gonna be 100% useless for raids and soul raids, so I don't really care about it too much. And then the damage buff against stun targets, that's gonna go all the way up to 160. What would you rather have, lads? Would you rather have 160% more damage only when the target is stunned, or something that's above 300% damage always? Which can be provided by Dark Maul cards or by the Crown of Conduct. You're never going to use this. It's another filler artifact, so they can give you something for your money, so that they don't say they didn't give you anything, but it's garbage. Neo Knife, 45% chance to perform random special for free after tagging. Or 85% at max. So look, getting free special cost, I'm all for that. Seeing a 0 over there at my power cost side of things, I'm all for that. I love that. I appreciate that. Now, when it comes to performing a free special, I'm not the biggest fan of that, because I want to be able to physically press at the moment when I want the special to be done, because if it randomly pops out, then it might trigger some weird interactions. But since it's on tagging, I guess we could kind of play around it a bit. Special destroy all active shields and barriers. Not the most useful thing in the world. The only thing you can think of when it comes to shields and barriers is Dark Sides in Soul Raids, when he occasionally gets that shield, though it happens very rarely. Successful specials decrease the opponent's defense and steal block effectiveness by 6%, stacking up to 8 times. Whereas block cannot be more effective than 75%. Look, at least this is going to reduce all the defense. But the block effectiveness, it boggles my mind a little bit. Because you're going to slightly benefit from having a bit more block effectiveness if you block stuff, if you combo interrupt. But they can get away from the enemy. My brothering price, if you're hitting into the enemy's block, you see this artifact and you're like, oh, now I'm going to do more damage because he can block less. You're not playing the game the right way, my dudes. You need to stop. Don't hit the enemy while they're blocking in 99% of the scenarios. And some power bars when the opponent gets a shield or a barrier. This is useless. It's going to be very good in situations where the enemy is going to have a lot of shields, but we don't yet have situations like that. Might be a boss in the new Soul Raid, might not. We'll see. Also, this is from Destiny, by the way. I just saw this here. I'll put a link to this Discord in the description, and also thanks to Kirot personally, because he did this. I'll also put a link to his YouTube channel in the description, because he's a data miner. He's got a channel. Subscribe to him for like new characters that are not even yet released. He posts gameplay of that. Particle Accelerator. Blocked attacks increase the reverse combo by 3 at max level, at level 1 by 1. Each 7 or 11 at level 1, where successful basic hits provide an explosion that yields the opponent of the wearer's attack stat as damage. So the more basics you do, and I don't know if it will stack with fast stack chance or not, but the more basics you're going to do, I'm gonna ignore the first part because it's garbage, but the more basics you're going to do, the more often you're going to inflict this damage, which is going to be attack stat, not base attack, which might mean it counts for the a soul raid attack that you get from the artifact. So this might actually be good, or it might be garbage. This is one of those things we'll never know until we test it out. And you're gonna get power drain immunity after the explosion happens. Okay, my dude, you do you. Nobody asked for that, but if you want to be that specific, be my guest. And those are the last 2 artifacts, out of which one of them is going to be free. First up, let's get to this. Special 2 and Special 3 can interrupt the opponent's specials, which will cost 1 power bar less. So you're basically getting a Deathstroke third special, where you interrupt enemy specials on every single one of your special, and you get a reduce in power bar cost if you're going to use them to interrupt. Interrupting specials deals 200%, 210%, or 100% at level 1 more damage. Every successful interrupt special increases damage by 100% and it stacks up to 4 times. Ho 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 ho, boy, stop over there. Like I read the first 2 lines, I was like, who cares? But we get to the last line. This thing is going to give you at max level, first of all, a 400% increase in damage, which is gonna be relatively. It's only increases damage, not special damage, just damage, raw damage. So you're gonna get a 400% damage increase relatively easily. And on top of that, if you, let's say, build some combo, you're at 40 hit combo, and then you back off, you let the enemy do a special, and then you interrupt him, a further 210% increase on that damage. Well, that's rather interesting. And this is going to be a relatively solid artifact, even if the interrupting specials part proves to be worthless and not worth doing and it's too inconvenient. Even if we get only the 400% damage, that's not going to be too bad. Now the free artifact. So spawns Trinity Hazard with 250% or 140% of Warrior's attack stat for 8 seconds on every 7 or 10 successful basic attack hits at level 1, obviously. We're gonna do basic attack hits, you're gonna spawn this hazard. Now quick question, stop everything, quick question. Is this hazard gonna make the enemy jump? 2 answers. Yes, fuck you, I'm not gonna use this artifact. No, well, let's keep reading then. Increase the rar's power generation and reduce the opponents by 49% or 15% at level 1 with a max of 4 or 2 Trinity hazards at the moment. So at max level, you can keep generating those hazards, like how you're doing it with Mr. Just think about this as North Snow Globe Mr. Freeze, where you're accumulating hazards and the enemy sits in them and takes damage from all of them. The fact that they can stack and you have multiple active at the same time, all the way up to 4, is great. That's actually great. But yet again, those are triggered by basic attack hits. And in order for you to keep doing basic attack hits and to trigger this in an optimal way, the enemy needs to not jump out of those. If the enemy tries to spam jump attack, then it's over. Trash artifact, I don't care about it. And you're going to get an increase damage for those hazards the more you create in battle. And you're going to get some power bars each time a hazard expires. This looks like it's going to be a very interesting artifact at the very least. The raw values of it and how much damage it actually deals, we'll have to wait to play with this artifact and see. But yeah, looks interesting. Again, if the enemy jumps out of it, it's garbage. Now we're gonna have all the bosses here. The data miners are naturally able to tell the specific description thing, only the modifiers, and those are the modifiers. I'm not gonna read all of them, I'm just gonna go through them. Just know that the boss on the lowest spot is gonna be the boss of the tier. The rest of them are sub bosses. Yeah, those are the things. We're gonna have over here boss Swamp Thing, boss Batuman Drowned, boss Battle Laughs, and finally boss Robin. Boss Robin is going to be combo interruptible, by the way, because Batuman is combo interruptible and he's built on her AI. But all that being said, thanks so much for watching. Thanks to Destiny and to Kirod for basically this video existing. As they posted all the contents of this video, I'm just rating them for you. I'll put a link to the Destiny Discord server in the description and the Heroes channel. Thanks again so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.